So, sneak peek behind the scenes. Movie magic. There's no magic, it's a lot of hard work. We're gonna go build a base camp for the opening scene for Scavenger 6 movie. But it's a real base camp, and this is my real location. And I won't tell you where it's at. But it's a fantastic little spot in Arizona. Hopefully the water's gonna be running, but this campsite is gonna be awesome. We're gonna be doing the silky saw, putting it through its tests, and we're gonna build ourselves a phenomenal little bush camp. So, but look, someone left this out in the woods. Can't believe it. I didn't bring it, but I'm using it. It's easy to push. So, I really like this location. It's got this great cover from this huge tree, which I could also skinny up and make it a lookout to the road and have a great tactical advantage. But I want to stay above that plane because that plane all washes out during floods around here. So this is a little bit higher, so I think we'd be totally safe from flash floods. And it's close access to the road, get in and out, so I think this is a great spot. It's going to be it. We've got great anchor point here, another solid tree here, and this branch that goes over is going to be a great cross member. And all I'm going to do is get another side post put here. Now I've got my 4 walls. Bed will go here, raised platform, so it'll be off the ground, which is nice. Put a reflective wall over here. It'll be awesome. Just got to do a couple of walls, a couple ceilings. Easy work. Alright, now we got to get ready. Alright, so we found some really long, straight poles that could be used for either our base or rafters or even a bed frame. So we're going to whop off about 9 feet of this, and maybe a little more just in case. And see how Silky does on this fallen branch. That was short work, easy. It's just hot, I'm sweating there. Okay, let's do the next one. But I'm getting the bed frame done with the baby Silky saw. It's amazing, even with one hand operation, it does a really good job. Crazy easy. And I just got to do that 1,000 more times and I'll be all right. Oh, progress report. We've got the bed frame up off the ground. Got all the slat boards in here to add the stability. It's really sturdy. It can sleep 2 people on here. This is how I designed it. And after we get this, we'll be cutting a lot of little bowels, pine bowels, and put probably about 6 inches on there, so it'll be nice and comfortable. So if you throw your sleeping bag on top, you'll be able to be off the ground. And those of you that have ever been in Arizona, you don't want to be on the ground. There's just too many creepy crawlers that can get at you. So snakes and scorpions, even though they can easily climb up, but it's just one more barrier from them to me, is what I like to do. Plus, it's a great place to be able to sit down and be off the ground. Again, you don't want to be right on the ground. It's just too hot, and it'll just, dehydrate you even quicker. So we got the walls, getting ready to fill the walls in. The roof is, all the structure on the roof is there, all been tied in, super sturdy. Now we're just going to start filling it in. And there's still a lot of debris on the ground, a lot of old leaves, so we'll probably do a fill with just a lot of debris. So that should be a pretty solid little place. Plus, this tree itself gives us so much cover and rain protection on its own. So Mother Nature's kind of already helped us out a lot. We're just adding to her a little bit. So This will be a sweet little shelter when she's done. All right, so yeah, that's not sound effects, that's real thunder. We got this shelter up just in time, so we'll see how much the rain stays off of us, but we've got a little bit more to work on. Clearing out the debris, gonna put a fire pit here. Basically, this whole thing went up with one saw, well, it's my old Nax, and a little bit of cordage. So it doesn't take much to put something that will keep you alive in the wilderness. Okay, so now we're going to clear out the debris and start building the fire pit with a reflector wall so that we can bounce the heat back in here, which should be really nice. And when I finish the shelter, that wall actually, I'll use paracord to tie up a sheet of reflective mylar. It's a casualty blanket. It makes it that now 100% waterproof, plus it reflects all the warmth from the fire back at you, so it's just amazingly warm. So that'll go up last, and you can hear we're gonna get dumped on, but I don't care. I love the rain. I'd rather be wet than, oh, I almost thought I heard some raindrops, than hot and miserable. So you've done no work. What have you done? Have you done anything? No? Go do some digging. Thanks. Insanely hot. I can't believe it. I should have come out now to build a shelter. Oh, thank goodness for this abandoned wheelbarrow. You know, just when you think you have enough water, you don't have enough water. Never enough water. Number one survival thing, I'm telling you. Just go out and try to survive in the bush with no water. You'll shut down so quick, no matter how big and strong you are. I'm just telling you. It's the key. And I have no water in my body right now. Only 25 more miles to go. Day 2 in the preparation of the base camp. One day wasn't enough. We brought back a lot more water. We're going to be using this barricade too for the shoot. Pretty cool stuff. We're out in the middle of nowhere. Everything in this desert's trying to poke you or kill you. Insane. All right. Whew. Looking for our entrance, and then looking for some thick foliage for a cover. Building some stairs. So, using my dowel, just put a couple footholds to get up to those upper branches. It's amazing. Old technology, but I tell you what, works so well. Now I'll just get a good new piece of wood, carve it up, pound it in, perfect foothold. Okay, so I got a fresh new sapling. It's about the size of my hole, maybe a little bigger. So what I'll do is measure it up. So probably whittle it down a little bit and hammer it in. See about right there. Take an extra one. Here we go. Step one. Do a couple more steps, I'll be good to go. Okay, so I had to make myself a club. It's better than an axe to be able to pound these in. But I got two of them. We're staggering them. Put the other one here. And then basically I should be home free to be able to get all the way up. So quickly we'll have this little bit of help up the tree done. When I get that done, I'll be able to do the roof. Get up there and put that roof on better. There it goes. Well, this one's real thick, so I'm just gonna take it down just a little bit. Oh, that's nice. All right, so we've got an auger and an axe. Should build me enough steps, up, footholds to get up to there, to the upper platform so I can fix this roof a little better. So hopefully everything holds my weight. I guess I should put one right there too. So now we're just going to do a little waterproofing on the roof. It's much easier putting them on top than trying to throw them up. I can place them just right. All right. Good. It'll fall in. Nice. All right. Nice and thick and shady out there. We're just throwing a little bit more debris on the roof, just a little more insulation. This is the last inhabitant of this shelter. Hopefully it's better luck for me. But he's my new mascot. We'll have to have you guys phone in for a nickname. But update, we're just clearing away all the debris. So when we have a fire here, we're not going to catch the forest on fire, and throw a little bit more rubble up there just to fill in a few of the holes. But it's so much nicer sitting right here, even though it's hot outside again. This is about 5 degrees cooler right here in the shade. So the shelter's doing its job. We have Arizona monsoon. I think we're about 30-mile-an-hour winds. Nothing. It's like little calmness right in that little hole. It is really downpouring, and we're in the middle of an Arizona monsoon. You can see out there, that is a crazy amount of water coming down. But just underneath this tree and then into the shelter, nothing. I got no water hitting me whatsoever. Actually, it got really quiet because the wind block where we've located it, man, I tell you what, if you were caught out in there, hypothermia is going to happen. But here, I'm warm and dry. I don't even have a fire going, and it's fantastic. I'm really happy with the shelter. Okay, so because of the monsoon, just downpour, cool thing is that where we positioned this fire, just the outside of the fire pit is actually getting a little bit of rain, but the middle part is not getting any rain, so that we can have fire even with this kind of a downpour. Plus, we stashed away some wood underneath our bed here, so just in case it is really, really wet for hours and hours, we don't have to go and search for more dry wood. Planning is what it takes. I want to show you what we did in about 10.5 hours. Minimal tools, but it's pretty cool. Come on with me. I want to show you what we built. We used Mother Nature and what she gave us, and then we worked around that, okay? So what we wanted to do is we needed a roof beam. So we used this beautiful heavy-duty beam. There's another big tree back there that we tied to. Then once there, elevated bed. Used some smaller wood pieces to be able to make the bed frame. Put a lot of these leaves and debris down so that it made it nice and cushiony, and then put some live bush on top of it so it made it even nicer. But you got 3 tools: a saw, a little axe, small little knife that had a fire starter on it. That built me my club, which then put in my pegs into this tree so I could get up to the top. Pretty easy. And then we built ourselves a drying rack and cooking little kitchen here, and a little fire pit with a pretty big wall to help reflect heat back inside here. Muscled some big heavy rocks so we could sit on this at night. But that's what it was. It was just one of those exercises that, can you do it? I don't know. You gotta go and do it when your life doesn't depend on it, right? So this is a survival, little bug out shelter that I built for myself, but I could add to it, make it bigger, faster. It just depends on what you're using it for. But it was one of those exercises I wanted to do, and it's one of those things that I didn't want to have to practice when my life depended on it. So I learned a lot from this one, learned how hard I could push my body and how much sweat goes into this thing. That's, I think, the thing I learned the most, how hard you have to work to build this thing. So it's something you guys need to learn, but I definitely want you to tune in to timralstonlive.com. We're going to teach you some more things, from starting fires to building shelters, you name it. If it's all about survival, we're going to teach it to you.